I got a lot out of the workshop. I was amazed at just the practical knowledge that I'm taking away. And I feel like, I've had a few rare instances where this has happened, where I've read a book or been to a workshop where I feel like what I'm taking extends far beyond the scope of the topic that we're talking about. So whereas I feel like this will help me working with addicted clients, this will help me as a therapist overall with clients with all kinds of difficulties. And I just feel really grateful that I was able to attend, and hopefully will attend this, a continuing workshop in the future. And I thank everyone who put it together. Thank you.
I feel immense gratitude, and like I even feel myself very anxious. Saying that, because it feels so vulnerable. I feel like I'm taking away a lot of skills that I can use with my patients, and I'm looking forward to. But also, I have been struck by you and your team's humility in teaching us these skills and your theory, and I feel like it's been an invaluable experience of modeling how to build that collaboration. I haven't heard anyone like demonize another theory, or really speak poorly of other approaches, but it's like the yes and here's another way to conceptualize things or use a big N. And I've been searching for that thing in psychology that I feel like I can really stand behind, and I'm immensely grateful for this opportunity, and hope to stay in contact and bring this to where I work. So thank you. Thank you.
I am also very grateful. So thanks for having this training. For me, as a harm reduction specialist working with folks, a lot of the people that I work with who are living in transitional housing are very chaotic users, and so a lot of my work is providing very practical harm reduction strategies, so connecting intravenous users to harm reduction centers, and talking with people about binging and encouraging them to eat food and those sorts of things. So for me, watching you sort of do some examples of some therapy, the chair work, and those types of things that I'd like to get more in, and this was really super helpful. So thanks for those demonstrations, and thanks for really forwarding harm reduction. I really hope that this philosophy and practice really kind of takes over the other models, which are useful for some folks, but just the pragmatic, compassionate nature of harm reduction in itself, I hope more folks embrace it. So thanks again.
I was really looking forward to this workshop, and it's exceeded my expectations. This is a model that I've really connected with, and I said this on Friday that I'm really grateful that I'm finding it in the beginning of my clinical training and beginning as a graduate student. And also just to be here with all of you, and everyone's at such a different place, and everybody seems so great and has something to offer. It makes me excited to enter the field. And yeah, and I'm definitely, tomorrow morning when I see my resistant youth, I'm going to say, I'm sensing a little bit of ambivalence. Maybe we can talk about that. So, let's see.
I want to say, I agree. And I'm going, and I have decided I'm going to take a book as a transitional object. So there you go. So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, I think it's been really fantastic, and I look forward to working with you and your team and everyone in this room. you know, as a integrated community going forward. It's been a real gift, so thank you.
Yeah, I feel I want to echo what Anna said and also what you said about this feeling like it was a very giving experience, both on the part of your giving the knowledge, us doing all this together, but also amplifying my desire to take this and give it to other people. Yeah, I saw a new patient last week, and I feel like he had a really hard time articulating what was going on with him, and now I'm like, aha. There's a way to go in there and sort of help him articulate all the difficult things that he's going through. But it's been just a real sort of validation, the kindness, the curiosity, the real sort of sense of people wanting to help others in a really compassionate way with really important stuff. And in that way, it's just been a great, great weekend. Thank you.
Well, it's Sunday, so I'm really sad because Monday's going on. I'm particularly sad. I really, really enjoyed this. It's an amazing context of learning, which instead of being kind of data kind of stuffed down our throat, it's a kind of learning, like an open learning stance. I feel rejuvenated in my ability to tolerate not knowing. And I really appreciate having the opportunity to do that.
I feel glad that I was here. I thank you all. And I found that the word that comes to mind for me is validating. Just, in search for, what's the right kind of treatment. And this approach just sort of connects, feels right. I think, I've heard everyone say that. And to validate the feeling that there is no cookie-cutter approach out there. People are all individual, and we have to understand and accept their differences, and this approach helps us to do that. Thank you.
I want to thank you also. I feel like if there was a structured environment where learning can take place and also you can apply it right away, and I feel like I can't wait to kind of really go over everything and be able to bring it into work.
Two things. One is that I just think this was just the perfect combination of theory and practice, and how everything got covered, and it was just a very rich experience for me, which I knew it would be because from that one talk you gave that and the other part is I'm taking an intensive course at Ackerman with Ellen Barkel on couples therapy, and so many of the concepts and the interventions were I could mesh them together, which was just so terrific for me now to go back and see that, kind of propping up the patient and building on the strengths and the positives. And it was nice to get that from both, from this training and from that experience.
I feel lucky to be here, so I do. Andrew told me about it, and it's always nice to be in a room with people from another discipline who also are in the same boat philosophically. So I thank you for that, because I always take away so much from the years of work you guys spend in psychotherapy and little time that we spend in medical school, oftentimes not enough time doing this stuff and in residency. So I agree. I love the practical portion of the training. I'm angry and frustrated that I couldn't be here when everyone said how great it was on Friday and Saturday, but by the time I finished, I was able to say that's okay. and so that too provided me an ability to reflect and say it's okay that I was only here for 1 day. I'm happy about that. Thank you.
I just want to, I guess, everyone said it so nicely already that, like, how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking about this, but for me, like, even when I go to trainings or conferences or workshops, I'm really motivated about, I somehow find myself looking at the clock, like just being distracted in some way. And these 3 days, I can honestly say, like, it went by really fast, and like, I want more, and I wasn't distracted outside. I was more present in this training than I've ever been before in other trainings. So I think that speaks to the work and what we're doing here and what it means for me personally, professionally. So I'm very thankful for that.
I think I could just say ditto to what everybody has said so far.
I just found it a wonderful experience, and I'm looking also to apply this to all of my work. And at this point, I'm thinking, gee, why can't we continue somehow? And I know you had mentioned something, if people could sign up for supervision, so perhaps we can stay in touch that way. Because it was not only you, Andy, and the whole staff and your approach, and all the wonderful things have been said already, but it was also everybody in the room here, and so that's how I feel. But everybody said it before me, so.
Yes.
Yes.
It's been great. I'm sorry I wasn't here for the whole thing, because it really, I've learned a lot. It's been very riveting, actually, and interesting, and I feel like I need to digest it all. Lots to think about, and definitely excited about using what I've learned with patients. Thank you.
It had everything in a very good balance. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm very happy about how this has expanded my knowledge, and sort of outraged at how long the Jelinek model dominated the field based on such a small sample. And I'm grateful to all of you for sharing your experience. And one of the things I love about this field is you can go to school until you're 90. I hope I can do it again.
We're all just getting started.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, this was really great. I'm a teacher, and I teach in an experimental learning environment with a lot of students who are struggling with trauma. And, so we do act as sort of therapist figures. So I did feel I experienced this sort of as a therapist, but also as a patient. And so that's a very complex and challenging, but rewarding sort of experience to have.
I just really appreciate the really kind words that you've shared with us, and looking forward to collaborating with you at some point in the future.
Yeah, gratitude is the word, and I'm also struck by the collective wisdom in the room, and the collective expertise that turned this from something that could have been just didactic to much more interactive, and it benefits everyone.
So I feel really honored to have had the chance to get to know all of you and get to know some of you better, and feel very grateful to my team. That I found them and that they found me, and that we decided we wanted to work together, or they wanted to work with me. It was lucky on my part for me. But really, I feel like I was brought into this harm reduction psychotherapy tradition, and that I'm kind of carrying my elders and sort of trying to honor my elders and transmit and convey what I've learned from them and from my patients and from my colleagues. And this really is why I think of it as integrative work, because it's me kind of carrying all of these traditions and trying to share it from my own particular point of view. So it's a collective, I think knowledge is a collective process.